Who's that kid? Nick. He looks like Beaker from Muppets.
The one on FS1, Nick Wright.
Yep. Yeah. I got something.
That's amazing.
I
did not even. I love that.
She was way more well known than I was when we first got together. I was always well aware of the fact that I was going to have to work very hard to not just be known as like, oh, he's that guy that dates Mickie James.
Triple H could give one shit about John Cena's legacy. There's a part of Triple H that wants to have a legacy that's bigger than John Cena's. So trust me, bro, he's not going to do him any favors on the way out.
If I get 5 women and they're all in the same room with me, we're going at it at 110%.
What's going on, everybody? Special Wednesday night edition of the Lazy Booking Podcast TV. If you joined us yesterday on A2D Radio, we did night 1 of WrestleMania. Tonight, we're here on Lazy Booking Podcast TV, and we're going to be previewing night 2 of WrestleMania. I'm Chrome, joined as always by my co-host, one Mr. Eric Archer. And down here.
What's happening?
Not too much. And this young man right here, I get a little tickle there. We have Ritz, the one and only, the self-proclaimed best there is, best there was, and best there ever will be, joining us.
The guy that really says it sucks. So
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I'm better than you, and you know it.
There we go. Guys, we're excited to be with you guys tonight. This continues our WrestleMania coverage. As you know, last week we started with the WrestleMania 8 watch party. And last night we came at you guys with our WrestleMania preview show. We've also been dropping clips and shows and all kinds of stuff this week. So it's been a good time. We're excited to get with you guys. Excuse me there. So, yeah. Join in wherever you're at. If you're on YouTube or you're on Twitch, please make sure you guys give us a like, give us a follow, give Andy on Twitch a follow. And most importantly, join our conversation. That's very important to us. We're going to go through the card. We're going to talk about the card. We're going to go through the matches, pick our winners. We're going to have predictions, bold predictions, as well as whatever else comes up in the chat, whatever you guys want to talk about. So, I know typically the agree to disagree is kind of an A2D thing. I didn't necessarily want to do that, but I did want to have an opening topic and have a question for you guys to answer. So our opening question for today is we're going to go right to the main event on this one. Will CM Punk or Roman Reigns walk out of WrestleMania 42 as the WWE Heavyweight Champion? Whoever wants to jump in, go right in.
I'll go ahead. We talked last night a lot about predictability. A lot of the matches that we were talking about, we could kind of see probably who's going to win those matches. This one is as much of a toss-up as I've ever seen at a WrestleMania. I've been going back and forth on who I want to see win, who I think I'm going to see win. And it's a coin flip. And I absolutely love that. Because we've seen it over the years at WrestleMania. I mean, look at the main event last year with John Cena and Cody Rhodes. The consensus was that John Cena was probably winning that match and winning his 17th. This year, I can make arguments for either side. Roman Reigns. Does he get back at the top? Does he take his throne as the tribal chief once again and take over? And do we have a part-time champion once again? Or do we continue with CM Punk, where he's on TV every week? He continues his run as champion, because I think his run has been very good. It's been kind of undervalued in a way, and it's been kind of, I feel like it's been put as an afterthought sometimes with Cody Rhodes and his situation with the WWE title on SmackDown. But that being said, I could pick either one and still probably pick somebody else tomorrow. It's just like how I feel in the moment. I kind of was with Punk for quite a while, where I thought that we were going to continue him as champion. And then I go back to Roman. It's kind of just, I don't know where to go from here. I'll just say this. I'm really excited for this one. And for the poll, for the topic, I'm going to go with Punk. But I would not be surprised at all if Roman were to win this.
What are your thoughts, Andy?
Man, Eric makes some really good points there, right? When you talk about predictability and you talk about longevity, and we think to the future, and we think to how does Monday night look, right? We talked about it a lot last night, right? What are they going to do, and how would Monday look if they did it? And part of you says CM Punk should be the champion walking out of WrestleMania because he's going to be the guy that's going to show up for work on Monday. That's not a shot at Roman that he won't. We just know better. At this point in what we do and what he has shown us, we know after WrestleMania, he's going to be kind of an afterthought. He's very much becoming very Undertaker in that regard. But then you think to the story and where it was CM Punk's kind of been this quote-unquote sellout in Roman's eyes. And he hasn't really reached that level that Roman is, but yet Punk is envious of what Roman was when he was champion. But that was the past. This is the now. It's, again, you go back and forth. If I'm picking one, I gotta go Punk, man. I gotta think about Monday and the future and where we go from here. The only thing that says for me to pick Roman, I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was a fan theory posted online earlier today. Roman wins. He goes out Monday night to celebrate whatever have you. Have the crowd acknowledge him. And then Oba, fresh off of beating Brock's ass, walks out. And you set up Oba versus Roman down the line. I don't think we're ready for that yet. And that's why I say you got to go Punk here. You got to have somebody around. You got to have some longevity around.
I got craziness going on right now in my background.
I'm sorry.
So we can hear.
I have something else I want to point out too, where I feel like there's a chance that Roman could win this match. We kind of see it on SmackDown right now, where TKO has taken some of the reins where they brought in Pat McAfee. Is the pressure mounting that much to where they want Roman Reigns to be the face of Monday Night Raw because of where their business was when he was champion? So to me, that's where I kind of could see it either way, where maybe the powers that be are like, you know what, we like Punk, but you know what, Roman is still box office, and while we have him, we've seen it where business has been very good, and maybe we put him back on top for now, even if he is a part-time champion.
Yeah, I mean, to that point, that's a possibility. I personally think this is almost unquestionably CM Punk here. I think we're going to see again, Roman's going to go away for a while. I do think eventually, one of these days, we get back to that CM Punk Seth Rollins match that's supposed to happen on one of these big cards eventually. But I think there's a lot to the Jey Uso aspect that came about, a couple of weeks ago. And I know on our show on E2D Radio, Andy was really kind of diving into that of what does this mean? It feels like there's a deeper meaning there. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. Here we go. We got Blinks over here popping to say hi.
What up, Blinks?
So I'll be chilling in the background before I leave for work. Is that you?
No, that is on my Twitch.
Nice. Well, thank you,
Yeah.
Blinks. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
This is a great one over there for us.
Love that. But yeah, no, I mean, listen, I think it's hard again with Roman to be a part-time champion at this point. I do think they need to have a solidified weekly presence over there on Monday Night Raw, particularly with it being Netflix. Now, could there be a period of time? Because again, let's think about this too. After what we've seen with Roman as champion, and with where he's at this point in his career, where he's not a full-time champion, can we get away with another big-time run like that? Oh, here we go. We got a quick drop in. Let's see what we got here.
Greetings from Las Vegas.
What's up, brother?
Sorry, we couldn't bring you any special guests. Timing didn't
okay.
work out. But yeah, we're currently here in Vegas. I don't know where you guys are on the show. I think you guys just started.
Yeah, and by the way, this is Jim Velasco, everybody. He's in Vegas enjoying WrestleMania events. So we talked, and he thought he'd do a drop-in, give us a little feel for the environment so far.
Yeah, just looking at the topic, I don't know what you guys have discussed right now, but I will say.
Is that Sal here?
Yes, Sal's right here. So,
Yo, Sal, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome to the show, bro.
I will say that it finally took until the go-home show to make me give a shit about this match.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, there was no logic to the match. It's like, I hate you. I'm going to insult you, but I don't get why you're mad at me for saying that your dad died or whatever. Like, finally, things made sense this week. We'll see what happens with SmackDown tomorrow with the other main event, but yeah, that's where I stand with that.
Yeah, I felt like I liked the promos leading up to this though, because it all did make sense. Whether it's I hate you, they were able to continually tap into the 10-year thing. But I did like kind of that last bookend to everything where it ultimately comes down to it's not that I hate you, it's that there's a hatred because I admire you so much for what you represent, and it's like one wants to be what the other has, and I don't hate you, I hate what you're all about. Correct. I enjoyed all of that. Yeah, it was really good. What do you think, Sal?
I saw it the same way you did, man. Like I saw how CM Punk did that. Like I hate you because you had all this fed to you, but then he was also humble bragging a lot about how he went through all this stuff, and that's why he's here, and that's why he's the best of the world.
Yeah. How long were you guys on for? A couple minutes?
Probably just a few minutes. We actually have to head out. Doors open shortly for the Mick Foley 40th anniversary show.
Hey, shout out to that. Yes. Louis and
And Chrome, Spud says hello. We grabbed late lunch like about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago.
Nice.
He had to split because he had to go pick up Renee. Renee is working Progress tomorrow morning. Progress is a fully stacked card, including such matches as Paul Walter Hauser versus Big Damo, big 5-woman match between Renee, Vert Vixen, Shotzi, Lena Cross, and I'm forgetting one more name, but yeah, big card.
So what's on your agenda, guys, for this week? Just to give everybody the vibe, because I think a lot of people think it's just WrestleMania, right?
Right.
So obviously there's access and other stuff, but it's such a week where it's like going to the Super Bowl, right? Like there's events all week that lead up to it. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to kind of give people a feel. So like, what are some of the other events that you guys have on?
So we'll start with tonight.
Yeah, I will say that like a lot of people have said this, that the biggest part of WrestleMania is not even WrestleMania itself. Mm-hmm. It's everything going on this week. Just to give you an idea, I don't know if we can pick this up on camera. That's my itinerary for the week thus far.
Yeah.
I mean, you may not read everything, but that's
non-WWE stuff.
This is all non-WWE except for the watch parties we're going to for Mania itself.
Right.
Everything else is basically non-WWE.
Yes, you are doing WrestleCon, right?
So we are doing WrestleCon. Just to give you a breakdown, tonight the Mick Foley show. Tomorrow I have Progress. Then possibly going to the Mark Hitchcock Memorial Show, which is part of WrestleCon. Then going to WrestleCon. Then at 9:00, the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast Major Meetup, $45 open bar at the Nerd in downtown Las Vegas.
Nice.
Then literally right around the corner in technically the same building, Wrestle It, which is supposed to be the predecessor to the unofficial predecessor to Wally Mania. So they're trying to match that vibe. A a lot of performances like by hip hop artists like AJ Francis, Leo Rush. Once again, trying to match the vibe of Wale Mania with no more Wale Mania being around. Friday morning, GCW World on Lucha.
Wait, rewind.
Oh yeah,
I'm going to Hog Wrestling.
House of Glory.
House of Glory tomorrow, with Brody King and Zilla Fatu headlining.
Nice.
And Shotzi's also going to be wrestling that night too against Charlie, formerly known as
Dakota Kai.
Dakota Kai. Yeah.
So it should be mentioned that Shotzi, the reason we're seeing Shotzi pop up so last minute in a lot of these shows, word is she is trying to break Speedball Mike Bailey's record of working the most shows during WrestleMania weekend.
Oh, love that. That's cool.
Wow.
Yeah. Obviously, that depends on travel between venues and match times and whatnot. I will say right now, Spud gave the greatest idea. If Shotzi, whether it's Shotzi with the title of most matches during a Mania card or Mania weekend card, or it's remains Speedball, he thinks the person to beat the record should be the Invisible Man, who is currently fighting Sandman this weekend. Because let's be honest, you don't have to worry about travel in between venues, and he doesn't have to stay for the beginning of the show, the end of the show. He could bounce from show to show to show and work as many matches as he wants.
Yeah, I love that. That's actually tremendous. It's a tremendous idea.
For Friday, I have GCW World on Lucha, which is Gringo Loco's Lucha Libre show, repping our girl Mel Thunder Rosa on that one.
Nice.
Then Sal and I have Bloodsport at 3. Then that night we have Bully Ray's Rooftop Rocker, presented by Paragon Talent Agency. Then maybe, I don't know, after, maybe Remix Rumble, which is kind of like a wrestling entrance theme club vibe kind of thing. Then we are, after on WrestleMania Saturday, we are doing a bungalow at the Palms Pool for the Slamfest pool watch party there. And we have that. And then that night, our buddies are doing an improv show with the Good Brothers, Nyla Rose, Dan Barry. Oh, excuse me. It's called Yes and Improv. Oh, Johnny TV will also be there. Yeah, we have a loaded week.
Pretty loaded week. Yeah.
It's a lot. So
yeah,
I wouldn't
it sounds awesome. I mean, it sounds like you guys have a lot going. And again, I just wanted to give anybody who views just the vibe that, you know, a lot of people think everything's WWE, which is fun stuff. But I've always enjoyed the aspect of doing the other shows too, even in Philadelphia, right? Did WrestleCon, did Progress. Progress shows are great. We're actually at some point supposed to have Leo on the show, who owns Progress Wrestling. But
I should be seeing him tomorrow morning.
Oh yeah, so you'll see him tomorrow. Tell my son what's up. But yeah, no, so it's cool, and I'm glad that you were able to do the drop. And we were talking last night, and you were telling me, and I said you could do a drop in just so we could have like a little on the spot, give an idea of what's going on. It'd be awesome. That's why I didn't even mention these guys you were hopping off. Because
we were depending on the scheduling with everyone. We were trying to get special guests to show up randomly, but timing didn't work out. But we're here.
Oh, good. That's all. You guys are the special guests, so we appreciate it. And make sure
your point. It's a good alternative. These are all good alternatives than the WWE stuff that you can go to that doesn't cost $600+ per day.
Yeah, it doesn't break the bank. Absolutely.
It's funny because he's going to Raw, but I'm not going to anything. I'm not going to SmackDown, Raw, Mania, not even doing WWE World. There's just so much going on. You literally don't have to do any of those things.
No, and that's the cool thing about it, right? It is very similar to Super Bowl in that Super Bowl tickets are so expensive, right? But there's so many people that go to enjoy the different events throughout the week, and this is literally the same vibe. Before you guys do go, I did just want to get your guys' thoughts, just because I feel like it is a very highly anticipated matchup. We have Oba and Brock, right? And we're going to deep dive into that in a little bit. But is this exciting you guys? And how do you guys see this going?
I'm excited for Oba. I've been following him since the start. I didn't know who he was, and I know he's he was like a NIL athlete or whatever, shot putter. Mm-hmm. But I just liked his vibe, and he can speak on the mic and everything, and and I don't know, could this be a passing of the torch thing for Brock? Because I think they were trying to do instead of that spot where Undertaker had his streak, they're trying to do a beat the beast thing now. So I don't know. I'm rooting for Oba, just to see what happens, So
Yeah,
he's over. Yeah,
I'm rooting for Oba too. I would love to. I would love to see the passing of the torch, but if anything, if Brock has to win, it needs to be like skin of his teeth, barely win. Like maybe he does he goes for an F5, Oba reverses it, but then somehow Brock reverses it into like a roll up or a schoolboy, something like that, and he just like he's holding on, even maybe grabbing onto Oba's tights. We're like, Brock is so threatened by this guy that Brock needs to grab the tights in order to win. Like it needs to be something like that, because I don't think anyone will be fully disappointed or surprised if Brock wins, but we're really pushing the younger talent now. And if you're bringing guys like a Brock or a Trick or a Javon or whoever they're about to bring up like later this weekend or on Raw, like you spent all this time on this talent, which you can see in the recently released Shawn Michaels documentary. It's like, if you're working on all these people, they have to come up sometime and they have to be made to look good.
Yeah, I agree. And I definitely think, we're all really big on Oba. We've been raving about this whole thing. And I think of everything WrestleMania, actually, this has been the best storyline that's been told, because it's been what's needed to be. It's just two guys, hasn't had to be a lot of talking. It's just two guys that when they see each other, it's on site. Like they're going to brawl and they're going to go after each other, and they're bigger than everybody. So it should be difficult for these guys to hold them back. So I've loved it. I'm very excited. Oba, Trick, Javon, all these guys, I think, I think Stephanie Vaquer has really excelled a whole lot in the last couple of weeks on, working with Liv. I think you're going to see a lot of people emerge from this WrestleMania as you can clearly see the direction that they're going to be in the future.
Yeah. I will say the one thing about Oba is I do question like where he would be if he wasn't doing his accent, just because like that adds to the character. And if he wasn't doing somewhere within his time in NXT, he has an accent. like he'll have the accent now, but is it going to be like an Apollo Crews or Kofi thing where like he loses it and he's like all-American Oba or something like that somewhere down the line? I'm hoping that's like 4, 5, 6 years down the line or something, because I want to see Oba grow as the ruler. And last thing, as we mentioned, Javon, when Spud and I were out, we literally passed by Javon Evans and his family, and it took everything within me not to go, "We outside!" of the trip.
That's awesome. But anyway, I appreciate you guys jumping on, man. Go have fun. Thank you again for jumping in. And if you see Lee tomorrow, you see Spud again, give them my best, or you see Rome, give them my best, brother.
Will do. Arch Riz, Chrome, good seeing you guys.
Seeing you.
Gentlemen, enjoy Mania week.
All right. Take
Later,
care, guys.
brothers. All right. Little drop in there, boys, to get a little vibe for WrestleMania week. Yeah, good stuff. There's a whole lot going on. So let's get back to our topic. Appreciate Jim and Sal for jumping in there. Yes, as far as this goes, though, I think we're all on the same page. I think we're likely leaning towards CM Punk. I would be a little more shocked than you guys would if Roman Reigns comes out of this. Is that fair to say?
I think so.
Okay. I guess coming out of this, then, where do you think Punk goes next?
It's a great question.
If Punk wins, where does he go? If Roman wins, where does he go? Because to me, the clearest path is Roman and Jay without the title involved. There's a path there, but Roman needs to lose for me to buy into that, right? So,
I mean, you could go Gunther as a stopgap if the plan is for him and Lesnar. You could do Gunther in between. I'm just saying the options. Shake your head.
Well, but no, it's not an option though, right? You want to get mad?
Why isn't it an option?
You want to get mad at me shaking your head? We're putting Gunther in this position where he is a career killer, unless he's going to.
He's fighting Seth Rollins on Sunday.
I understand that. That's a stepping stone to Brock. The title is not a stepping stone to Brock. The title is a lazy way out, and you have nothing better to do for your title picture. That's what Gunther is in that option. He's not an option. He's a non-starter.
Well, then who is?
You have people like Oba. You have LA Knight. You have LA Knight would make more sense if you went Punk. I think those two would be great on the mic together. The problem is, who do you turn heel? We go down the line a little bit more here, because then you got to think about who they're coming up. Who are they going to shake over from SmackDown? Again, see, you shaking your head doesn't bother me one iota, right? It clearly got under your skin. But go ahead, continue with your Gunther problem.
You're good. You're good.
No, go ahead.
I'll jump in here. I feel like Gunther in a world title program derails what's going on right now. I think Gunther needs to be far away from the title. I don't think it benefits him because, again, we don't need that for him and Brock. I think that there is more work to be done to continue to build the career killer, right? We know that Rhea is probably coming along this year. If Brock is on the table for SummerSlam, that's coming. I feel like Punk, in the job that he's done right now, keeping the title on him, you really could find other avenues and other opportunities. I don't know if I want to throw Oba in there quite yet, but I don't think Oba is that far away from being a title contender already. And he's barely had any matches on the main roster. And we also don't know who's going to come up from NXT at this point, right? You're going to have Braun Breaker back on Raw. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities here. I would agree with Andy. I don't want to say it's not an option, but it's not. For me, it's not a good option.
I said it could be an option. Not sure. It's going to be the option because you need something between now and SummerSlam. And if Ray's that, then fine. But you got to do something relevant with Gunther between now and SummerSlam, because I think the big mistake they've had since Royal Rumble, they've done jack squat with Gunther, and he's lost his momentum. So you need to bring that momentum back, and I think it starts at WrestleMania.
So yeah, I think we thought he lost his momentum, but with the reaction he got the moment he showed back up, that momentum's not lost.
I get it, but he could have been on TV, is what I'm saying. Like,
sure. Listen, Ray got hurt, right? So there was a whole lot of question marks, and there was already a bunch of moving pieces. So I get it. I like actually that they kind of held him back, because I also feel like when guys like that show up every single week, like we were starting to hit the point where Gunther was doing the same thing every week, and it was actually. I thought that was hurting the character. It was the same promo every week, and it was the same laugh in somebody's face every week, maybe an occasional slap to the face. I actually felt them 3 or 4 weeks where he was kind of off of TV and then came back, and how physical and brutal he was in that kind of reminded people that this dude is no joke. And it made it even better because you didn't expect him to show up in that set segment, right? So I get what you're saying, and you want him on TV more than not. But in this instance, I think it's weird because the injuries suck. But I almost feel like the injuries that happened here, and I mentioned this last night, oddly enough, prolonged enough things to where, hey, it's going to fill a lot of the gaps, I feel like, between WrestleMania and SummerSlam, since we're not seeing those chapters kind of end now, you know? And that's going to fill some of that filler time where we really hit a lull between Mania and Money in the Bank. So I actually think it benefited them to have that.
The reason I say Gunther also is I don't think you're putting a babyface versus a babyface. I think it's more than likely they're going to put a heel against Punk if Punk retains. So who's your top heel on Raw? It's Gunther, as it should be. Well, that's why I bring him up, but I digress. And
Gunther is better in a less is more scenario. The reason why Gunther in NXT worked so well, and you didn't have to do much with him, was he had Imperium. So all those matches that Gunther probably is having now would have been Ludwig Kaiser or Giovanni Vinci. Gunther, and especially if you're going into a career killer stance, is so much better in a less is more capacity. And because to Chrome's point, you dilute him too much. The physicality that he brings, the fact that he is willing to end you and not think twice about it, sells so much better when you see him in a 4-week month, maybe twice, right? Just something to move their story along just enough with whatever he's doing. And then as far as putting a heel against Punk, that's kind of where I was going with that LA Knight thing, right? Someone's going to turn. You can flip the switch easy on Punk and have him turn, right? But then also we have Braun Breaker, who will come back and deal with Seth. But I also think he may look at the title as well. And then I don't know, where's Bronson Reed? Is he still going to be out much longer? Or is he about
to yeah, I think he's going to be out for a while.
Is he? I don't remember how long was. Right? But I also see I see Braun Breaker lining up to take out that title, because he was heading into the Raw, the first Raw of 2026.
I mean, there is somebody we haven't mentioned, and I'm going completely against my thought of heel versus babyface. But if you're going to give that push to Finn Balor, he comes out after WrestleMania, you're going to have something for him there. I know we just did that, but I think this is a different version of Finn also.
I love Finn. I swear to God I do. You can't sell me and again, I'm so excited for the Demon. I really am. I'm over the moon. I popped when they did the promo a couple weeks ago. But you can't sell me on him going to the title picture. He just sat in purgatory way too long. And this program with Dominik, while it's a long time coming, I don't think that's the thing that gets in there. I would love it. Don't get me wrong. I would love it. But I don't see them pulling that trigger.
Well, so I don't know that at Backlash you necessarily get something for Punk at that point. Maybe you do, but not every title is always defended at every PLE. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't shock me if they kept them off there. I'm gonna think inside the box, then outside of the box. I could go to the king of filler main event title matches, who is super over, and yeah, he's a face, but it doesn't matter. LA Knight is an option, and we haven't had that yet. Another person, I just throwing it out there, right? Could they set something up for CM Punk and Pat McAfee?
I mean, also, keep in mind, Backlash is only 3 weeks. After you have 1, 2, 3 TVs, 3 Raws,
I can't stand
before
that.
Backlash.
After you had such long breaks in between events to get to WrestleMania.
And then,
very
wait. But wait, guys, there's more. 2 weeks later is Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, it's a lot. It really is a lot. I mean, I know, they had.
So with that being said, going back to Gunther, you need to do stuff. So, I mean, it's not out of the, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. Plus, if you're going to do the Brock thing, you've got to start the program somewhere. Maybe Brock costs him the title, and then you have something there where he puts his career on the line. And there's a way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you could do something like that. Again, this is our personal thought here, Eric. I don't believe, for me, putting him in a title picture does his character. Even with a schmaz loss because of Brock, it's too early to start that. Like the bane of my existence is these 3-4 month feuds that, like, I don't want that to be AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of time between now, like 4 months essentially, until we get the summer. So I don't want it. To me, that's an absolute counterproductive thing for Gunther. There's other options that could be there. Kill these dogs, by the way.
I think with you having essentially, let's just put Saturday night's main event in that category of PLE. With you having 3 PLEs in May, essentially every other week, because you go 9, 23, 31, right? You're going to have to do a lot of things that are going to be off the cusp. I just don't see Gunther, unless they pull the trigger and do Gunther Ray for Clash, and they set up all these little feuds through Backlash and Saturday night's main event and ended in Clash. I don't see him ending his career in Paris. But then again, it's the first one in Italy, so they're gonna give them something.
Yeah.
You could set up Gunther Brock here. We all know Brock loves a quick turnaround. You could do Gunther Brock here, and then let them build something for him to do at SummerSlam. The problem with the career killer thing, that moniker, it's the same problem we had with Randy Orton when he was doing the Legend Killer thing. It really locked him into some stories and locked him out of other ones because you didn't want to hurt that character because you weren't ready to pull a trigger on this particular thing yet. That's the issue that I see with Gunther.
If I may, real quick, and something that just popped in my head too. The issue with Cody is we go through everybody and then we cycle back. We kept going through the same guys over and over. Well, he beat Gunther for the title not even a year ago. So are we going to do what we did to Cody and start cycling back? Like, the good thing about this time of year, I don't know if they'll go this route, is really after Mania, if you wanted to shuffle the deck and move some guys around to change up the stories, you can do that. And that's the one benefit. The other aspect of it too is NXT and who can come up and who can emerge, right? So I would worry, because I agree 100% with what Eric said. I think Punk has done a tremendous job with this title. And it was really kind of like last minute, right? Because they had to shift titles around with what happened to Seth Rollins, right? So I actually think this would be it would be a disservice to him to start cycling back through the same guy. So what I would hope is maybe we shift a few people, swap some people from Raw to SmackDown and vice versa, or maybe somebody from NXT. And now again, I don't know. Do you bring up Joe Hendry now? Do you bring up a Ricky Saints? Do you bring up, all these guys?
I just don't think you put those guys right in the main event either.
No, for sure. I could see maybe Joe Hendry. He's that over on the main roster. Not main event. He wrestled Randy Orton at WrestleMania and was over like Rover.
And got a stupid reaction for it.
But you are right in terms of maybe an Ethan Page. I don't know. I know they wouldn't, but I feel like Ethan Page is somebody that 3 weeks on the main roster or 1 month on the main roster and people see how he is, he could throw himself right into the main event title picture.
Especially if it's Punk. There's a lot of callback that they can quietly do.
That's true. But no, but you are right. But that also then opens it up to, can you utilize one of them to ship Dom Mysterio? Can Dom Mysterio be an opponent for CM Punk going forward? You know what I mean?
It's true.
He's a strong name, and I know, Eric, in our one chat with our pal Nick, we've discussed Dom as somebody who could be lying away, because I don't think Dom needs to win it right away, right? So that would be a really good program, I think, between Punk and Dom. That's probably the best name I could throw out there. Kind of just as we're working. To your point, it is thin on Raw at the main event picture, particularly with heels.
And that's where also then you go back to, if Roman winds up winning the title, of course you have Jay possibly, but then from there, where are you going? And that may be where Roman being a part-time champion may not be a bad thing, where he shows up especially during the road, like this, like Backlash. You talked about Backlash, like probably doesn't defend the title. He probably doesn't even show up. And then, all right, we bring him in. Now he's champion, and then we start a feud.
Yeah, to your point, if Jay comes in and costs Roman and Roman disappears for a bit and Jay does his thing where he's the new OTC, kind of like what we saw with Solo, Jay is somebody that we could see with Paul. The history is there. The animosity is there right now as far as the family goes.
Yeah. Rib shot. Yeah, so we were talking about that. Yeah, like TKO, that they could be like, you know what, we need to put the title on Roman. We need some ticket sales. Not that, I mean, I don't know. That could be. I that's why I think this is a toss up. I for more than this, but like I could see either way. They could go in either direction. That's what makes it so great.
I also think rib shot that I think CM Punk has done a great job to legitimize this title.
But does this title really need any more legitimizing?
I think there was a point where it did, but now at this point, I think that between Seth's run, and I thought Seth did tremendous with this title every time he's had it, and then seeing what Punk has been able to do with it, I do think it's been legitimized. I feel good about the position of this title and how meaningful it is. I mean, hell, this is a title that a couple of years ago people said was the Roman Reigns consolation prize. Now you have CM Punk and Roman Reigns closing out night 2 of WrestleMania for this championship.
Exactly.
You look at last year, Jey Uso won this title, and they recovered from that. Unfortunately, I mean, yeah, you gave him a chance, and I'm glad they did. You know, we tried it. You know, not everything works, right? So you gave it back to Gunther, and things worked out, and now this title means more than it did a year ago, and that's what you want.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Dynasty, what's up? Dynasty says Ray needs to end the Triple Mania hair versus mask match, or mask and career versus Gunther. Can have every career except Ray, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think the writing's on the wall. This is what they wanted to do at Mania, so we'll see. I mean, you could send Gunther over there and get that out at Triple Mania if you wanted to. But you know, interesting thought, not a bad idea there. But we're all on the same page on who we think is going to win. It's going to be interesting to see what the fallout is from this match. I think we're going to get a classic. So let's shift down. Let's move on to our next match. Let's go with, well, we already touched on it. We have the return of the Demon. Finn Balor taking on Dominik Mysterio in a grudge match. He's the AAA Mega Champion.
Yeah.
I wish that title was defended on this. Like, that's actually kind of my one downside to this is how much that would do for that AAA brand that they now own. And they run shows all the time for it, and it's on their YouTube.
And they're fun shows.
Oh my God, they're so good.
And like
shows are so good.
You put Penta over there and had Penta defend the Intercontinental Championship, 2 weeks ago? Not even, right? Maybe even over the weekend or something like that. It's pretty recent that he did this. I would think that it's a great place to put the AAA title on WrestleMania. You know, yes, he's going to come out with it. We know he will, but it still would have been cool to have this match for the title. And then you'd obviously, I think you'd want something different in this spot than Finn. But I'm glad that we're getting Finn Dominik because I get the Demon. And if the Demon doesn't win, I'm rioting. I'm just going to say that. I'm a big Demon Balor fan. I love the idea behind it. I love that it's become special. It's not something that he does all the time anymore. Like, it felt like there in NXT for a little bit, he was doing it every takeover. He would bring out the Demon. This means we're back to old Balor, and I think old Balor will work pretty well.
Yeah. Let me respond to Ripshot real quick before we move on. Ripshot says this is still second to the main title. Just the latest version of the copy of the WCW belt that was given to Triple H. I wish they scrapped it. So it is the WWE, their title and their company. The lineage goes behind the WWE Championship. It always has. It always will. And I have no issue with that. Wrestling is different now. And even from back then, where there is so much talent. And because of the internet, the exposure, there is not enough spots. So by creating your own competition and having a second brand and a title for it, there's nothing wrong with that. So I don't think they need to scrap this title. It doesn't have to be one. One could be 1A, one could be 1B, and 1B is slightly under it. But the title is made by those who you have your stories behind the title and their desire to win the title. And they've done a really great job at making this a title that the top names, the upper echelon, biggest names in the company are now desiring to win. Again, you have CM Punk and Roman Reigns, a 10-year tension that is culminating over this title in the final match of 2 nights of WrestleMania. And that makes it important, Ripsha. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just where it's at. And I see you think it's lame, and that's fine. That's fine. But if that title's not there, everyone's gonna bitch and complain why there's not enough spots at the top for all these other guys. It gives us it's another title that has a lot of meaning. At the end of the day, Ripshot, that's the bottom line. It's going to be the WWE title first. It always should be.
God, you think if Cody Rhodes was defending the title on 2 shows, you think the Cody fatigue is bad now? Oh my goodness, it'd be twice as bad. People complaining, but I think it's come a long way. I do, and I was a proponent when that they had to make it pretty close, and I knew they were never going to make it. It was never going to be an equal. WWE title is the WWE title, but they've gotten it as close as they can to making it as almost as relevant as the WWE title.
SmackDown's never going to be Raw.
No.
Right.
Like, at the end of the day, Raw is their flagship show. It has been since 1993. Like, we're pushing towards the back end of heading towards 40 years of Monday Night Raw. Like, just is what it is.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's their history and their lineage. It should be that way. But Eric, Finn and Dominik.
I mean, I think this one, I don't know what it is. I'm glad, it'll be cool to see the Demon. But I think this match could have been so much more. I really do. I mean, we alluded to the AAA title. I thought months ago it should have been for the Intercontinental title in a ladder match. We've talked about that on the show. And I'm glad Penta's got the title, but I think this match could have been so much more. It's going to be good. Don't get me wrong. But I think having a little more stakes in this, especially if you're going to bring the Demon back, I would have liked to have a little bit of reasoning as to why, except for revenge, like have a championship on the line of some sort. But, we're getting it, and it's going to be good. So, Demon's winning this match.
Yeah, listen, I think this match, I'm glad we're finally here. It dragged. It was long overdue to get here. But as far as the Demon goes, I'm as big of a Demon fan as anybody else is, but I do think that it lost some steam. So the fact that it kind of went away for a long period of time, years, it seems like the right time to bring it back and turn Finn back to where he was at his peak. So maybe this is what we needed, where we get back to that Finn Balor that propelled himself to, the first Universal Champion before getting hurt. And we'll see. But I think this match is going to be fantastic. The story is there. It's 2 guys who work a tremendous pace. And I'm very excited for this match as well. Dominik Mysterio is a super, super talent. But I think it's pretty obvious. I think the Demons lost, 1 match?
He lost to Roman, yeah.
So that was his first and only loss. So I would be shocked here if the Demon does lose here. So I'm going to go with Finn Balor. Next we have, let's go here. I don't have much to say about this match. If you would like to know what our thoughts are, you can go back. And
We did this last night.
Did we?
You got the wrong, you got the wrong women's match.
It's Jade Rhea.
I have that too. So it must have been a mistake on the one website I looked at because they had that listed with this.
You're allowed to make a mistake. Things
Yeah,
happen.
you know. I was gonna say we already talked about this, but
13
I was like, maybe
matches
that
is
was
a
when
lot.
me and Andy were on Monday night. All right, so I guess we'll jump to that one then. Women's World Title match: Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first. They have really tried hard. I got to give them credit for trying to really, put some steam on this. Adding in, and I've said it, where I could care less about BFAB and Meechin, but I can respect that they are at least trying to put a little bit of oomph in this story. And I've said this for several weeks also. This is make or break for Jade. Win, lose, or draw. She's got to come out with a good performance here. This is her time to shine. And if you can't do it with Rhea, you can't do it with anybody. I'm hopeful this is going to be a decent match. I think Rhea's winning. I thought Jade maybe for a little bit, but I'm leaning towards Rhea. And I think this is where we possibly see Io. It's not a match, but you get her involved in some way if you can't get her on the card, which is an absolute crime. But I think if you're going to get her here, this is the way to do it. But I think Rhea's taking the title.
Yeah, I see. I gotta disagree. I gotta go Jade on this one. I really enjoyed Rhea being out of the world title picture, no matter what it is. I do think this is a way to help legitimize Jade's run. I wouldn't be surprised if Io comes down to handle Meechin and BFAB. I think that's where you would insert her there, kind of even the odds, because let's be real, Io can take both of them and without blinking. And I think this lets you kind of do something different with Rhea. She didn't win the women's title. She didn't win the world title. What's next for her over on SmackDown? New people, new opponents. Kind of keep her still away. I think having the heel on top with a little bit of a faction, albeit a kind of secondary faction of women, gives us that Mortal Kombat feel, right? Fight your way up to the champion. And will help legitimize Jade just as a little bit of a bigger threat, right? Because even though you may have beaten Meechin, she's still got a bicycle kick you, right? And like I said, I'm not a fan of Rhea right now, at least back in the women's picture, because all her stuff felt very copy paste with her and with the title. I like that we're trying to build some depth in her character.
I have a bold prediction that's tied to this match.
Sure.
I don't know if I should give it away now or...
It's now or never, baby. You ain't doing another show.
Well, we have like a bold prediction part.
Wow. Do it now. We did it last night.
Yeah, that's true. So I'm just like doing a little thinking again outside the box. So what if Rhea wins and then Io comes out and then turns on Rhea and we get a heel Io? And then that's her first challenger coming out of the gate. Also, there is the history that Rhea has never beaten Io. So this could be the time where she finally gets her victory over Io.
The Asuka thing is where I say that I don't see that happening, right? This Asuka storyline, because I think you're either going to see Kairi turn on Asuka, or we're finally going to get Io versus Asuka at some point.
Unless we get something that happens. I said last night that I thought, my bold prediction also tied to Io was that they were going to find a way to get her on this card. So let's say something happens and they either get them on night one or, hey, cameras were rolling before, during the pre-show, a brawl ensues. There's only 6 matches on this card and they squeeze them in and have an impromptu match between Io and Asuka. You can knock that out early and then circle back to Rhea, and then Io can turn then.
I'll go one step further. I don't hate it. I'll go one step further. If Io gets misted, then I'm gonna say yeah, and they're gonna build around that. It could just be the fact that I've been writing a lot lately.
Yeah.
Right? But if Io gets misted, that's why she turns on Rhea.
Chris says turning Io's crazy. Rhea needs to be the one to turn.
What up, Silent Hill?
That's right. I love Silent Hill. What's up, brother? I would disagree because Rhea prints merchandise. Rhea, they have literally have your quarterback, your QB1, telling everybody that the biggest star in the company is Rhea Ripley. So I love Io, but I feel like it's getting a little bit stale. So I'm actually not opposed to turning Io at this point. I would be opposed to Rhea because I think Rhea gets cheered no matter what. Anyway, she did when she was a heel.
Yeah.
So I don't know where making her heel or face does anything. It doesn't change the crowd reaction. So
she gets the best pop out of any of the women. She's the one that people, her and Stephanie are the two that people are dressing up as.
Yeah.
Right? That's why they split them up and put them on different shows. Right?
I don't
share the wealth and the love.
Yeah, I don't see them turning Io either. Especially if Rhea winds up winning the title, you've separated them, and Io can be a babyface on Raw and feud with the heels over there like Liv or Raquel. But I mean, there's always something that happens at Mania that we're not expecting. So I mean, it's not out of the realm at all. But I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, bold predictions are exactly that, right? It's not something that you necessarily expect, but could see happening and you think would be, and that's kind of where I'm at, right? I'm not necessarily expecting that, but I'm like, they want to make an impact, and somebody I think that could use a little bit of a refresh. It would be Io, who, again, I think has earned her spot to be on WrestleMania. But the last 2 months, it's been a little bit, basically since they lost the tag team titles.
Yeah.
Falling a little bit short.
I get it. I agree.
Yeah, so just to change that one up. But so I have Rhea, Andy has
I'm gonna go Jade,
and Eric has Rhea. So we'll see how that one turns out. As far as Jade goes, too, I will say this: if she wins against Rhea, that's a signature win for her. You can make her a star.
Yeah,
that's exactly what
that will show the confidence that they are going with Jade moving forward. Also, I mean, that's a big vote of confidence there if you have Jade go over on Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, and it's a shame too because the other part of me wants to see that Bianca versus Jade match for the world title, but I just don't know how far Bianca is.
That would be my bold predictions. Bianca comes out here. And even if Bianca's not 100% cleared, right, you could start building towards that. And you could do it here at WrestleMania. Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's like what we talked about last night with Braun Breaker, right? Like, I don't know that he's 100%, but he sounds like he's close enough that he could do a run-in.
Exactly.
Same kind of deal here.
You imagine the mental anguish that Bianca Belair is going through right now. Just her showing up at WrestleMania would probably do wonders for her psyche, just to get back out there with the crowd, and that would, I think, will go a long way just to see her, have her come out and see her fans. I mean, she would get an amazing pop. It would be a shock. I'm with Andy there. That'd be awesome. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I mean, listen, we talked about it last night, right? Bianca is my niece's favorite wrestler. And pretty much almost anybody that I know who has a kid who's a WWE fan, most of them, if they have a daughter, Bianca Belair is their top one or two. It's Rhea or Bianca. So I get it. Let's see. Let's go. Let's jump in here. dive in head first. United States title, Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn. I think Trick Williams should win the title here, but my gut is telling me, with this slow burn of a transition of the Sami Zayn character, that Sami Zayn's going to find a way to overcome Trick here, and with nefarious means to do it. So I'm going to go with Sami Zayn here. I think it should be, and I'm still hoping it's Trick, but I'm going to go with Sami.
I'm with you. I'm with you that Trick should win, because we talked about the next level for some of these younger guys, and Trick is absolutely one of them. And a signature win at a WrestleMania against Sami Zayn, say what you will about him. He's a WrestleMania main eventer. He's been at the top. He hasn't been world champion, but he's been up there in the main event picture. That's a signature win if I've ever seen one. But I think, to your point, I think we're going to start to see this evolving heel character where Sami cheats to win. I think it's not going to be a clean win. But I would absolutely love to see Trick. That crowd is going to go nuts for him, as they have been already. So,
the whoop that Trick,
I'm sure him and Yachty are going to have a pretty cool WrestleMania entrance as well.
Oh yeah, the whoop that Trick in that arena and that's in that stadium is going to be awesome. Andy,
Trick wins, Sami blasts him afterwards, and that'll
another
start
option
the heel
too.
turn.
Yeah,
and I'll screw it. We'll go a step further. He blasts him. Mello comes down to make the save, only to turn around and blast Trick too. Now you've set up, because again, you got to start setting Backlash up this weekend. Essentially, you got to start giving us what we're going to see. That's what you'll see, the triple threat, I think, at Backlash.
Fair, not a bad idea there.
I think if Trick doesn't win here, he's winning soon thereafter. I think we'll get this match again.
Yeah, and listen,
we've got plenty of events for that.
Yeah, and listen, I think we've raved about it on our show on A2D Radio that Trick Williams and Oba Femi, to me, and Javon Evans, those guys are the absolute future of this industry right now, particularly for this company. And I feel like they recognize that. Like, I know we worry about the booking that's going to come out. I just, at least with Trick and with Oba at the very least, I feel like they can't screw it up. I can be wrong, but
they would have to try really hard.
Yeah, like it almost is like you'd have to intentionally put out an effort to screw it up. And speaking of with Sami Zayn, that's a dude that could turn heel and then bump over to another show, and he could be somebody that Punk could feud with as well.
Good point.
Yeah,
I think getting him off of SmackDown might not be the worst case scenario, because
as long as they don't go back to this whole Fidel Castro Sami Zayn. I wasn't a fan.
So like it sucked at first, but then when he became this conspiracy theorist, it was like kind of awesome.
It was
that catapulted him to the bloodline.
Yeah, you didn't love the conspiracy theory thing? Oh my God! And he's walking around with the cameras.
He
had like shooting the duck. Oh, you're crazy!
It just, I was like, this is boring.
Oh, I thought it was tremendous. That's what got him to the like Eric said, to the bloodline. It was tremendous.
I love the bloodline stuff. Once he got there, it was great.
Dancing.
But the whole conspiracy theory thing, it doesn't even have to be Sammy. I'm just like, no. Take that shit and go home. You're in a scripted show. You can't tell me you can't sell me on a conspiracy theory. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just too smart for it. Maybe I'm just way too smart for it.
I think you're like picking and choosing. I feel like you're picking and choosing when you want to buy into the story and be a smart mark, because you're definitely being that.
Oh, 100%. It's my prerogative, damn it. But I don't know. I love goofball Sammy, right? I love that cocky, arrogant goofball Sammy. that we saw with the Bloodline, that's probably my favorite. Not necessarily, he doesn't have to necessarily be with the Bloodline again or be with anybody again, but that cocky, arrogant, I'm better than you kind of attitude, I like that.
See, I feel like even with Becky Lynch, her tweets were awesome, have been awesome. Like, I'm over the story, but as far as what she puts out on social media, whether it's Jessica Carr, AJ Lee, Michael Jordan, and all, oh my God, I think
Jessica Carr has to be the referee on Saturday, by the way.
Oh, it has to.
He has to.
Will be for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway, just throwing that little trinket in there. All right, we have our Intercontinental title 6-man ladder match. We have Javon Evans versus Rusev versus Dragon Lee versus JD McDonough versus the late edition of Rey Mysterio versus our Intercontinental champion Penta. Love this list of talent. I know we've had discussions on this, so I'll be curious to see if anybody's changed their opinion. I'm going to guess probably not. But I think Penta will win this. But I still believe that, this is a proper Intercontinental title roster or list of people going into this championship match. These are people who I believe are at this level. They are the workhorses of the company, and this is the proper title that these specific names should be going for. We're not throwing main event guys in there to fill it up. These names deserve the opportunity to go for this title. Penta finally gets the title. I think Penta gets his moment here. They're going to capitalize off of the unreal momentum. But I could see a Javon Evans winning or a JD McDonough, which causes a friction between him and Dominik going forward. If you wanted to go with a Rey Mysterio, it's always there. I don't think they go that route necessarily.
I think they take it out within the first few minutes of the match, honestly.
But because I don't know how healthy he is at this point. But I do go Penta here.
He did not look good Monday night. Like, he looked comparatively great. He looked very much like a shell of his former self, and all he did was hit the ropes, and that just looked rough. I love that you said Javon and JD, because when I think about this match, and I say this match, not specifically this one, but you look at past WrestleManias, we've always had an Intercontinental title ladder match over the last couple years at WrestleManias. And it's really helped take somebody and put them to that next level. And I think when you do it with Javon Evans or JD, you have a lot that can come out of this. I think JD sparks really a true split up of the Judgment Day. I think it allows JD, who has, over the last year and a half, really just gotten his ass handed to him left, right, and center. He put everybody over and did the job to the point that it almost killed him, right? And I think putting the title on him here is great. I think it's great for Javon Evans. His first WrestleMania, what a moment that would be. I'm not mad if it stays on Penta. I'm not mad if Dragon Lee gets it. I'm a little confused. I'm not mad if Rusev gets it. But of all of them, I think Rusev is the least likely to win this match.
Yeah, but probably say him or I would say him or Rey, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed to Dragon Lee winning this either. I honestly, to me, this is the proper Intercontinental title roster. Mm-hmm. Like, they did it at 31, they did it at 32. I miss Money in the Bank being a part of WrestleMania, and then when that went away and they made it the Intercontinental title thing or a tag team title, like, they always had a multiple person or team ladder match for years, and then they went away from it.
Yeah.
And it feels like a part of WrestleMania now at this point. So I like, if you're not going to do Money in the Bank, which I will die on the hill of, it's time to bring it back to Mania and get rid of this stupid pay-per-view. But, or PLE or whatever the hell we want to call it. But that being said, if you're not going to do that, I am very happy with what we're getting. And any of these guys, and I will even include Rusev here, with how athletic he is, could create true WrestleMania moments that stand the test of time, much like the old Money in the Bank matches used to.
So I'll say this as far as the placement, and I'm glad you saved this until near the end, because this match and the next match we talk about, I think this match is really going to be impacted by what we see in this first match, because I would imagine they want to get both these matches in. So depending on how long Oba and Brock goes, not to take anything from what we're going to talk about, I think the entrances themselves are probably going to be longer than the match itself, and that could go a little bit. So with that being said, this match is probably going to be limited in time, but I think the guys that are in this match are perfect for that. I think they're all going to be able to get their spots in. We're going to see a bunch of crazy stuff off the ladders, tables. I think we're just going to, it's going to be a car crash like we talk about. The last few years we talked about that ladder match, and even if it wasn't for the IC title, it was for the tag titles, or it was that car crash match that you're going to see. And this being on ESPN proper, we're going to see this match really, they're going to go to those limits to show what they've got in front of that live ESPN audience.
Yeah.
Penta's retaining. There you go.
I agree. I think they're going to get some time with this, by the way, because I just don't see Oba and Brock going very long.
I don't think, like I said, I don't think the match goes long. I think the entrances and like the stare down could take a little while.
Are you talking about with Oba and Brock? Oh, I thought you were talking about when you said the match being shorter than, for some reason, I thought you were talking about the ladder match. I was like, man.
I did too. I was like, wait a minute.
I was like, man, the ladder. I was like, the entrances might take a while.
So I don't think it's going to be short, but I think depending on, because I think Oba is going to take his sweet time getting to the ring. I think the stare down, I think that whole thing is going to be longer than the match, but that could take 30, 35 minutes.
Agreed.
So with that, these entrances are probably going to be really quick. They're going to have to get the match started quickly, but I think the right mix of guys is there for this match, is what I'm saying. And it'll work, but they're just going to it's not going to be as long as you typically would see this type of match at a WrestleMania.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
If you have to put it in a perspective, right? Assume for a moment that the ring is going to be at the 50-yard line, right? Maybe even the 40-yard line, away from the tunnel, because that's where they're going to set everything up. Is it going to be on that side? I would argue that they're going to wait till they hit about halfway down the ramp for the 6-man and launch another person.
Yeah, probably.
Right. But on top of that, too, they're going to have to set up and bring ladders out after Oba and Brock. So that's going to take some time to get that set up also.
I'll die on this hill because they're going to want to try to make time. I would not be surprised if we're seeing them set ladders up as people are making their entrances because they want to make for time. And then, and then when Penta comes out, they'll hang it up. They'll raise it as it all brawls.
Yeah, if it's not out there already, right?
Yeah.
They're going to make it work. They're going to make it work however way they're going to make it, and that could be it.
Yeah, I think that Andy's right. I think that you'll see them maybe get halfway down the ramp and then they'll go to the next one. And the thing is, Penta is one who takes his time when he gets to the ring. So that really is a guy who you can launch him last. And then that's kind of just making sure everything's in place so that when the camera shot comes back, everybody's in place and all of the crew is gone.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but I got Penta in this. Anybody have anybody different?
No.
Javon or JD? I'm going to go Javon or JD.
Okay. All right, good. Yeah, it's a little something different.
I think the person we talk about after this match is Javon.
Agreed.
But Penta's
it better be.
Penta's going to win.
I'm very excited to see what the moment we get from Javon is.
Yes.
We know it's inevitable that we're going to get. All right, boys. The WrestleMania Open Challenge issued by Brock Lesnar was accepted by Oba Femi. We discussed it quite a bit over the last few weeks, but we're finally here to talk about it. Again, to me, and I saw Eric, what's her name? Who was on McAfee earlier?
Jackie Redmond?
Jackie Redmond talking about this. It felt like everybody was talking about this, that this is the match that seems to be, even the employees with the company seem to be talking about that this is the match that they excites them the most for WrestleMania. So we're here. It's finally going to happen. We have Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi opening up on ESPN proper. Want to get your guys' thoughts on this and who you have winning this.
I'm sorry, I'm losing it. I I had this thought roll through my head.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna take so long getting down to the ring. Oba's gonna pop him up and hit him with the power bomb, and it's GG's. We're gonna be so excited for these two to fight, and he's gonna end him in one damn power bomb, and we're all just gonna be sitting there like when Goldberg beat Brock.
Right,
I was gonna say the Goldberg Brock Survivor Series spot.
Where because Oba's gonna circle. I'm telling you, I'll be pissed. But if it's a squash match, I'll die.
But how pissed would you be? Because it's finally like, again, I know we saw it the one time with Goldberg, but like the turnabout is fair play. He goes out there, he squashes Cena, and they end up doing that to Brock. I do think, though, Eric, we talked about this with Russo. See, I think Brock can lose this. He's on a different level. If you squash him, that's not a good look going into Gunther.
Right.
No, it's not. But damn, it'll be funny.
It would be interesting for sure.
I think it's gonna go it's gonna be the fastest 10 minutes ever. And I think they're gonna put it all out, and they're just gonna beat the living snot out of each other. We're gonna see F5s, we're gonna see power bombs, we're gonna see all kinds of stuff. And again, going back to this build, Brock has not gotten 1 inch of offense on Oba Femi at all. And that's where my hesitation is. My mind wants to go to Oba, and I want him to win. I think it's the right thing to do. But there's just something in the back of my mind just feels like it's not gonna happen. And I don't know what it is. I think it's just that lack of any offense at all, and it just feels kind of just like Russo said, backwards. It's just like backwards booking. It could very well happen, and I'd be fine with it. And I'm gonna stick with Lesnar because I just don't know if they're gonna pull the trigger because of what's to come. But with that being said, I think the right thing to do for Oba Femi is for him to win this match because it catapults him right to the main event the next night. I mean, it really does. But I think it still can do that, but it would just take a little longer if he doesn't win.
Yeah. No, I'm actually buying more into the theory that Andy threw out there of the squash match for Oba. Because if we're throwing out that entrances and match are going to be 10 minutes, Brock squashing Oba is not helpful. So if those two are going to go at it and Oba's going to lose, you need a 16 to 18 minute match out of these two. And I don't.
Oba's going to go to work on Monday.
I just don't see it happening. So again, with Oba, like we talked about, how can WWE screw it up? It's almost impossible. We have to be trying. That's how they would do it. So that's again why I think even more so that Oba's going to win. I don't see the time there unless Oba's going to win and win quick and take Brock out and basically take over his throne as the next Beast. And maybe that is the purpose, Eric, is why other than the mass brawl is for Oba to have the upper hand to clearly crown a definitive new irresistible force for the company.
And then it's Gunther cleaning up the scraps and finishing it off.
Yeah, because I don't think, again, like, I do agree with Russo half. It's not that people don't care how Brock is booked, but I don't feel like a loss hurts Brock. So in terms of that, like, even if he was to get squashed by Oba, it's never happened in his career. And then you do that whole, I just got squashed. Does he have it in him? Like you could do a self-doubt with Brock. Is he really that guy anymore? And that's the storyline you could tell, making him the face going into the Gunther program. And then ultimately it proves he doesn't have it in him because Gunther takes him out. So actually, oddly enough, an Oba squash would probably help that storyline as well if you went down that road. But
yeah.
And you can have Gunther do those promos without Brock saying a word.
Yeah, you really could.
Brock wouldn't have to do anything other than show up at Saturday night's main event, right? Because you want to give something big for Italy. You show up at Saturday night's main event. You have Brock interrupt Gunther, who's still running his mouth, right? Gunther, that Monday on Raw, challenges him to Italy, and he ends him in Italy.
Okay.
I think it might go. I'm thinking it might go to SummerSlam only because of where I think SummerSlam's in Minneapolis. But they could be wrong. Like I mean,
it is in Minneapolis, but no, I see where you're going with it too. But at the same time, I don't know.
Right. It could.
Right. I'm going to make everybody happy here.
All right, this should be good.
Eric, I'm going to go back to your theory in the beginning. Gunther ends up the #1 contender against Punk. Brock, I'm not doing it. Whatever the first event is, Backlash or whatever, I'm not doing it. You can get Rhea out of the way between now and then. You can push this all the way to Saturday night's main event, right? So you get Rhea out of the way then, and then the tie back to Paul Heyman comes out where Gunther wants his services, and then Heyman is hesitant to do it. Gunther starts talking shit on Brock. Brock's been gone because Brock just got squashed. He is nowhere to be seen. He's got this self-doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, Brock comes back at Saturday night's main event and costs Gunther the championship, setting up you think I don't have it. I had that one loss, but I'll prove to you I still have it. I got one more in me. And then that's where Gunther says, Heyman, you owe me a favor. I'll give him his match against me, but I want his title or his career on the line. There it is.
I mean, I think it's definitely possible. We talked about it at the top, but I think where they position Gunther, taking out Cena, taking out AJ, and then I would assume, prediction wise, WrestleMania, he's gonna defeat Seth. With that whole dynamic where you have to give him Brock in some capacity where it makes sense, where it's meaningful. And I think you kind of laid it out there where, Oba could still go over and it still kind of makes sense. So, I mean, I'm still going to stick with Brock only because that was who I picked. But like I said, I think the right decision is Oba going over because he's going to be here for the next 10, 15 years. Brock Lesnar may not be here the next 5 to 6 months, so it would make sense. But knowing how WWE's thinking, I just don't want to count the chickens before they hatch, so to speak.
Agreed. So I have Oba. Andy has Oba. Brock. Eric, you have Brock.
Yeah, I'll go with Brock.
There we go. I love it. We change it up. And that was a good discussion. And we all circle back, boys. We got back to Gunther being the number one contender and how it makes sense.
I totally got where Andy was coming from.
For sure.
Like, you want to protect him. You absolutely want to protect that. Yeah, and if you start losing matches, it's gonna take that tarnish that career killer.
Yeah,
moniker.
absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I get it.
All right, so we got about 5 minutes left. I want to get what you think is going to be the match of the night, who you think is going to be the standout of the night, individual talent-wise.
Javon Evans, standout of the night. I really want to see the ladder match be the match of the night, but I think it's going to be Punk Roman. Because I still think Oba Brock ends up being a squash.
Mm-hmm.
But so I really want it to be the ladder match, but I think it's going to end up being Punk Roman.
Mm-hmm. Eric?
I really want it to be Jade Cargill, because I think if you can get her through this match, you have yourself a top heel on SmackDown, and she can carry that title until either Naomi comes back or Bianca or both. You've set yourself up, and you probably could, you could work programs moving forward for the rest of the year. So I want it to be Jade. And for her, yeah, I mean, if she wants it, we're going to find out. We're going to find out how bad she wants this. I mean, I expect Javon, I think, and of course the obvious one would be Oba, but I'll go with Jade.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with Oba, even though it's the obvious one, for the simple fact of I'm buying into the theory that I started moving with the squash, building off of what Andy was saying. And if that happens, they're going to show that shit on ESPN.
Oh, 100%.
And Oba is going to be a massive, massive star.
And he better be on First Take on Monday. He better be all over at ESPN on Monday.
They'll probably have him on McAfee.
Yeah.
Is McAfee live from World?
That's a good question. I don't
He
know.
usually is.
He usually is. Yeah.
Schedule, so.
And with everything that happened today on his show, right?
What happened?
Oh, Cody broke in.
Yeah, no, I know.
I saw the smile on his face. That's why I didn't give him what he wanted. But everything that happened on the McAfee show, I think it would be good almost to have him at World to kind of further some of that along.
Agreed.
Especially if Randy wins, he'll be there with like the world champion. You thought you were getting rid of me, huh? No.
Could have Jelly pop up there. They could set up their backlash match, which seems like it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Great.
But yeah, no, listen, I'm going to go with Oba because I feel like if that happens, and I'm now believing that that's going to be the case, he should be a made man after that. And ESPN is going to push the stars. And the fact that that match is being shown on ESPN proper, I think will be very, very important for them. So I'm going to go with him. Match of the night. Man, I want to say Trick and Sammy will be – I think it's going to be really good. I'm going to go with the ladder match because I feel like the level of talent in this – and again, when you're talking about something that's nationally televised outside of just the streaming service, like this match is gonna slap. It's gonna hook. If you can't get hooked after watching these guys, and again, I might be speaking ahead on this. I don't see it possible that these 6 superstars have a bad match in this environment. And Andy talked about Javon and what he's going to do. Man, if they can do that and they're doing that on actual ESPN, like there's a chance to really bump them buy rates or that subscription rate. So
I think that's the importance of this because the tickets are what they are, but you can still get somebody the last possible second to subscribe to that app.
Agreed.
And I think that's where they're going to push them, right? You've talked a lot about ticket sales over the last few weeks. ticket sales are not what they're looking at. It feels like right now they're pushing everybody towards that app subscription because they can't do anything about the ticket sales. That's TKO. That's even above them, right? And so I think they're really going to put a lot of focus on this app moving forward. It's not going to be buy your tickets. It's going to be make sure you're subscribed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So, guys, WrestleMania week is here. Oh, anybody want to mention anything about the Hall of Fame before we hop off here?
It's going to be long. It's going to make for a long night. I'm excited.
Well, you're lucky. It starts at 10 for you. It's
no, it starts at 11 for me.
Oh, 11. Right. You're an hour behind me. I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Billy. Billy's 2 hours.
And I still got to work in the morning.
Oh, well, that sucks for you.
Yeah, it's a long night for me. Hall of Fame is my favorite night. WrestleMania week, outside of actual WrestleMania, it's one of my favorite events. I'm really, really excited for Stephanie's induction speech. I think I'm more excited for hers than I am anything else on even AJ's. And I've been an AJ guy since day one. I'm really excited and really interested in what Stephanie has to say when she goes out there. And I want to watch what I want to watch the What's Your Story too, because with Triple H interviewing her, I think that's going to give a lot more insight into what she's going to talk about.
Ripshot Hall of Fame won't be as long as usual unless you want to watch Stephanie get inducted, right?
I do think they learned their lesson though after last year. I do think some of those things they're going to keep a little shorter because it was a very long night for even the people there. Right, it started at 9. They still didn't get out to almost 11 midnight, something like that. Last year.
Yeah.
Do you think we see VKM at the Hall of Fame?
No.
He'll be there, but we won't see him.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I don't think anybody sees him. I think they put him in a dark corner in the Raptors.
Or he just isn't there at all. It wouldn't stop me.
Yeah. I think he's mentioned though. She can't not
mention.
Well,
he'll get mentioned. She mentions him all the time now.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, he'll get mentioned. I'm looking forward to Demolition. These guys, that's not your era, but these guys are so far. It's asinine that those two haven't been put in 15 years ago. They were a dominant tag team. They were the WWE's response to LOD. But man, if you went back and watched. I've been watching a lot of old WrestleManias. Last night I had on 11. I fell asleep. I started watching some of 11. And in this last 30 days, I've watched 4. I didn't watch 4. I watched 5, 6, 8, some of 3. But especially when you talk about 5 and 6, that's where Demolition was kind of really in their peak in WWE. Man, they were awesome to watch. Just as badass and dominant as what you watched with LOD.
One of the cool moments that I loved was when they were 1 and 2 in the Royal Rumble match. That was awesome.
And went right at each other.
Yeah, they beat the crap out of each other. It was great.
Yeah, it was great. And,
definitely wasn't like you were used to seeing in that era. You didn't see partners beat each other up. You didn't see good guys beat each other up, let alone partners. So that was pretty awesome.
Unless you were Rick Martel and Tito Santana.
Oh, here we go.
Strike Force practice.
It's a great way to end the show.
Sure is. Now, Hall of Fame will be fun. Eric, are you with me on Demolition? Is that the one you're looking forward to?
Yeah, Sid.
Yeah.
Hopefully they get someone to say a few words. Hopefully one of his kids.
And so it popped up on my I think my Instagram or my Facebook. One of his kids is going to be there, and I think they are saying something because he made it he has a Facebook page or whatever the hell, and it somehow ended up on mine. He got his suit and everything like that, and I think he's going to be saying something. Not much, but something.
Yeah, and that's exciting for us because again, Sid means a lot to this show. It was our first big guest interview that we had on here when he was promoting a podcast we had a long form interview with him that lasted over almost an hour. And again, he's a very honest guy and we were able to hear a lot from him. So I'm going to be interested to see how his family is able. Hopefully they do get the time. Like Andy said, it looks like there's going to be something there. And then they get that moment for him. I'll probably go back and actually listen to that interview that we did with him back in, was that 2018, 2019?
Yeah.
2019, I think. Or 2018. I don't know.
It was I think it was still in the days at the garage.
It was the days of the studio prior to online. So, but anyway, that'll be fun. Very excited for that. Obviously, we'll have Raw next week, and me and Eric will be on if Andy wants to join us as well to recap WrestleMania, a full recap on Tuesday night, and not Saturday night, but for us here on Lazy Booking Podcast TV, Andy and his crew, they will be doing a live reaction on Sunday for WrestleMania Night 2. Again, not Night 1, but he will be on 45 minutes before WrestleMania Night 2 starts, give or take. 45 minutes to an hour.
We're aiming for about 45 minutes before the start of the show. We're going to jump on. We're going to recap Night 1, and then we're going to go straight in to Night 2, and we're going to be with you through everything. All the matches, all the surprises, all the shocks, all of it. And you're going to get our real live reactions right here on Lazy Booking Podcast TV on YouTube. It'll also be on my Twitch as well. And we're going to stay a little bit after the show as well, just to give some recap, some final thoughts of the weekend as a whole, and kind of put a nice little bow on it, serving it up for these guys on Tuesday.
Absolutely. So it's exciting. And if you missed any of our stuff, go back on our page, and you can find it on A2D Radio's page. There's the Vince Russo interview or show that we did with him last week talking about WrestleMania and his conversation with Tony Khan from AEW president. And then you have our watch party we did for WrestleMania 8. All of this stuff is on our page. Our WrestleMania Night 1 preview show is both on this channel, and the live stream was originally on A2D Radio. You can find it there. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow on your way out the door. Thank you to our commenters, as always. Ripshot jumping in, Dynasty, Silent Hill, right?
Yeah, Silent Hill.
Appreciate you guys popping in and dropping in a few comments. But it's WrestleMania, guys. We're here. We're excited. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. And I hope you guys join Andy on Sunday. But for myself, for Eric, for Ritz, and everybody here at the Lazy Booking Podcast, we appreciate you guys. And as Andy always says,
guys, tell somebody you love them. Peace, love, and joy. We'll see you Sunday night.
Whoa, WrestleMania.
If this WrestleMania is a fart in church, I really, truly believe that Triple H is going to be in very, very, very hot water.